But right now, the big news from today's Critical Armed Services Committee hearing.
This will not be an easy or a brief effort. It is complicated. We're at war with ISIL as we are with al-Qaeda.
I'm not confident how this is going to happen without the assistance of our trained special operators on the ground here.
My view at this point is that this coalition is the appropriate way forward. I believe that will prove true. But if it fails to be true, and if there are threats to the United States, then I, of course, would go back to the president and make a recommendation that may include the use of U.S. military ground forces.
If the objective were to destroy ISIS, not to degrade them, but to destroy them within 90 days, what would be required militarily to carry that out?
It's not possible, Senator. Truly, there is no military solution to ISIL.
Is it fair to say that most Syrians have two things in common? They don't like ISIL and they don't like Assad. Most Syrians.
I agree.
Is it fair to say that most Muslims reject what ISIL does in the name of their religion?
Yes.
Is it fair to say that if we don't contain this threat and eventually destroy it, that it gets worse over time, and a year from now, if they're still flourishing in Syria and this coalition hadn't come about, America's more in danger of a major attack than we are today?
Yes.
And Senator Lindsey Graham joins us. Nice to see you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, after today's hearing, you had a chance to question the General and also Secretary of Defense Hagel. Do you understand the Obama administration's strategy?
I am absolutely dumbfounded as to what we're doing and why, but I do believe this. Destroying ISIL is the right goal, that if we don't destroy them, they will get stronger and hit us here at home. It's just not about Iraq and Syria. I just don't know how we destroy ISIL, given what I heard today.
All right, what did you hear today? What did General Dempsey tell you and Secretary Hagel tell you is how the Obama administration intends to destroy
In Iraq, we use the Kurdish forces. We regenerate the Iraqi army that's fallen apart. We pull the Sunni Arab tribes away from ISIL, and we hit them inside of Iraq.
Let me stop you right there with that one. The Sunni people are not wild about the Iraqi forces.
No, they're not wild about ISIL either.
Well, no, they're not wild about ISIL, but they have it. They're more.
Can I just tell you what they said?
Okay.
So the way you win in Iraq is you reconstitute the Iraqi army from the south. You have the Sunni tribes in the west abandon ISIL and fight with us, fight with the Iraqi army, and you have the Kurds hit them from up north. Then ask them about Syria. 2/3 of ISIL is in Syria, not Iraq. So to destroy ISIL, you would have to hit them in Syria. And this is where it all fell apart for me. There's supposed to be a mythical Arab army formed sometime in the near future that will go in on the ground and destroy ISIL without any substantial U.S. help. I don't believe that's possible. And the worst outcome is to send an Arab army into Syria and ISIL beat them.
All right, who's this Arab army that the two witnesses today said to you was forming?
Well, I don't know who they are. The Free Syrian component is part of it. I'm all for training Free Syrian army, but it would take a lifetime to train enough of them to defeat ISIL. You've got Turkey, you've got Egypt, you've got Saudi Arabia, you've got forces in the region. I'm all for using those forces, but I don't want to be unrealistic to the American people. I don't see how a large Arab army without substantial American support can defeat ISIL. And if we lose to ISIL in Syria, they're not destroyed. They actually come out of this thing stronger.
Do you have a sense today that you got military strategy answers or politics?
This is the key. The strategy the president has adopted was made up by him, not our military. This is not a military plan. This military strategy won't destroy ISIL. It's designed to protect the promises made by President Obama as a politician. The military must be pulling their hair out tonight. They're in a box created by our president. This is not rational. And it all goes back that he's stubborn, he's vain, and he's been incompetent. And he's going to continue this fight against ISIL in a fashion where it goes longer than it should and more people get killed than necessary. He is that stubborn. To President Bush's credit, he understood that his approach to Iraq was falling apart, and he abandoned it and replaced it with a new strategy. President Obama cannot admit to himself that what he's done in the past is not working. And the worst thing a commander-in-chief can do, I believe, is send American forces into a battle where they can't win. And that's exactly what we're asking of our military, to fight ISIL in a fashion that they can't win.
Senator, nice to see you, sir.
Thank you.